Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a new addition is coming to the Walker Library here at MTSU, and an alum of Middle Tennessee State University shares his work in the Baldwin Photographic Gallery.
MTSU is setting goals for the 2023 school year with a charitable giving campaign, and changes in housing at Middle Tennessee State University could be on the horizon in the future. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Simmons.
And I'm Elise Sandlin. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
A stable owner in Rutherford County is facing several rape charges following an investigation involving himself and a teenage girl. Jason Lancaster, age 51, was charged Thursday with 2 felony counts of rape, 3 counts of statutory rape by an authority figure, 3 counts of sexual battery by an authority figure, bribery of a witness, and stalking. Police said Lancaster is the owner of Pinnacle Stables in Christiana, where he is presumed to have had sexual contact with other possible victims. 23-year-old Leah Victory was also charged with conspiracy to commit tampering with evidence. More charges are pending in the course of the investigation. And Lancaster remains in custody with a $1 million bond and a hearing set for October 2nd in General Sessions Court.
One man is in custody after a shooting outside of a Manchester hotel in Coffee County. A man was shot and killed after an argument near the Ambassador Inn Hotel in Manchester. According to Manchester police, the victim was found in the parking lot of the Ambassador Inn Hotel on Interstate Drive, which is where the investigators believe the shooting happened. The victim did not have any ID on him and was believed to be a non-Tennessee resident. The identification of the suspect has not yet been released. We will keep you updated as the investigation continues.
2 people are injured after an ambulance was stolen in Mount Juliet. An ambulance was stolen from Summit Medical Center on Saturday. Both the Metro Nashville and Mount Juliet Police Department responded to the call. Police stopped the runaway ambulance with a spike strip. During the incident, one individual was injured and transported to the hospital with minor injuries. A Mount Juliet officer involved in the apprehension injured their arm, and they were treated and released from the hospital. The suspect, now known as 45-year-old Gary Mabry, was charged in Wilson County for crimes related to the pursuit.
MTSU is setting a goal for the 2023 Employee Charitable Giving Campaign.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us as we kick off the 2023-2024 Charitable Giving Campaign.
From my perspective, True Blue means that we look at the opportunities to give back to our communities. And I ask you today, again, to join me in this noble effort to benefit our communities. I'm excited to announce today that we have set a goal of $147,500. Thank you for what you do for this great university. There's some exciting things happening at MTSU, and let us share our pride and our wealth with those who are less fortunate.
We have a competition each year among the academic colleges. This is called the Provost Cup, so it's awarded each year to the college with the highest percentage of participation in the campaign.
I do challenge you all today to give. Now, we have to give what is significant for us, and for some that might be $10, some that might be $1,000. Look at your organization, the company, the corporation that you're going to work for, and see how they handle charitable giving. Do they have a heart for the community as well? And MTSU has done that. They not only give it themselves, they give us an easy way in which to give back to try to solve some of the problems in our community. So I do challenge you all today to give.
And as President McPhee said, you can give by going to our website, mtsu.edu/MTSU Cares, all one word. During each week of the campaign, we'll give away some fabulous prizes. We'll announce the weekly winners on the following Friday of those drawings. Thank you for being being here. Thanks for watching on True Blue TV, and let's go get them.
The True Blue will be giving away prizes throughout the weekly drawings for the participants in the Employee Charitable Giving Campaign. The campaign is going on from October 1st until November 1st, supporting nonprofit organizations in the area. Donations are welcome at their website. A new exhibit at Middle Tennessee State University is now open to the public at Walker Library. The Making Connections, Exploring Hidden Collections and Special Collections exhibit is on the 4th floor of the Walker Library at MTSU. It has 11 micro collections in the exhibit, which include musical snippets, war memoirs, and Queen-related artifacts. The mission of the Special Collections is to preserve and provide access to these artifacts. The Special Collection exhibit will be open until December 14th.
And now Alexandria Aguilar joins us with our first look at the weather. Alex, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Dylan. We're holding off on that chilly fall weather for just a few more days. Shelbyville and Murfreesboro's highs are sitting at a warm 86 degrees today, with humidity at 44 and 45%. Woodbury and McMinnville are coming in 1 degree lower at 85 and a humidity of 46% and 45%. Mount Juliet has the warmest temperature of the day. The high is 87 with humidity sitting at 48%. Smithville's high school today is 84 degrees with humidity at 49%. Our lowest temperature of the day is in Manchester, coming in at 83 degrees and a humidity of 47%.
Thanks, Alex. I know I'm definitely warming up to these hot days. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, a photojournalist and alum from MTSU shares his work on campus. This exhibit takes viewers on an interactive and visual experience. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Photojournalist and MTSU alumnus Bill Steber takes a visual and interactive journey into the world of Delta blues with his newly installed exhibit on display at the Baldwin Photographic Gallery right here in the Bragg Building.
This is Bill Steber, a MTSU Photo Department alum
and I am here with the exhibit Deep Roots, Evocations of the Mississippi Blues. This is the results of my 30-plus year exploration and documentation of the Mississippi blues and the diaspora of that in the culture in Mississippi and surrounding areas. This is something I started in the early 90s when I was working at the Tennessean, and has expanded to include not only documentary photographs, interviews, videos, but a lot of the interactive and artifact pieces like what's seen behind me. This is a sharecropper shack from the Stovall plantation that was standing on the plantation less than a month ago. And they were about to tear it down, so we salvaged it for this show. There's a whole bunch of things here, tremendous amount of history, a lot of interactive stuff on the web, and I encourage everyone to come out and see it. When I was young, I was very, very curious about music, and I discovered in my parents' record collection, in the back of the closet, there was actually some Jimmy Reed and John Lee Hooker records. And I found those at an early age. It was kind of transformative. I became kind of a lifelong fan of traditional blues music. And even though I lived in Mississippi as a child, I didn't go back there until I was working at the Tennessean as a photojournalist. And so in August of 1992, myself and a writer, Joe Rogers, traveled through the Mississippi Delta, and we stopped at the home of Son Thomas in Leland, Mississippi. It was a day that I can mark my life as before and after. After meeting Son, he was a folk artist. In the front room, there was a casket with a depiction of a woman's body in there, and he had some skull that was made with human teeth made out of clay. That was this real primitive and evocative piece, and I met him and I got to hear him play guitar. He just embodied the culture of Mississippi as a folk artist, as a musician. He was one of the most fascinating and genuine, inspiring human beings I'd ever met in my entire life, and I wanted to get as close to him and to the culture that he was a representative part of. And he died actually in June of '93, and that set a fire under me to try to find as much of what was left of the culture that created the blues in Mississippi, not just the musicians themselves, as quickly as possible, because I had the sense that it was fading and it was going away. So I got really interested not only in the musicians, the juke joints, the places where the music happens, but the context, the people who still do traditional agriculture. I found the last few people that still handpick cotton, not because they had to, because that's the way they were raised and that's what they preferred to do. I started going to river baptisms, started going to traditional services at tent revivals. I started seeking out practitioners of hoodoo, which is a kind of a combination of West African mixed with Native American herbalism and spirituality. It's something that still exists, but it's very hidden and it's very difficult to find. So I've found examples of that, including retentions of African culture that were still extant in the Mississippi culture. Some of the last examples of that. The thing is that once you learn a little bit and you learn a little bit more, the world starts opening up and you realize, oh my gosh, there's all of this there's still to find out there.
It's 5. Musician Alvin Youngblood Hart and blues historian Scott Beretta will be on campus from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. Wednesday, October 4th in the Chris Young Cafe on campus to kick off the exhibit. Bill Stieber will be on campus November 15th at 6 p.m. for an artist talk. Make sure to stop by and see the gallery any weekday from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m.
Middle Tennessee students were visited by the Tennessee Housing Development Agency this past Friday. The Chair of Excellence in Urban and Regional Planning is a 9-month-long research-based course in which students will be able to address regional issues facing Middle Tennessee. This includes topics like housing, as students were visited by the head of the Housing Development Agency as a guest speaker. Students were able to have a round-table discussion of what the present Middle Tennessee housing situation looks like. Those who are in the program will get a stipend of almost $4,000, along with relevant experience in the field.
Let the bonfires commence. The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department has lifted the burn ban for recreational fires. Murfreesboro Fire Rescue has lifted the burn ban for recreational fires and other fires that do not require a permit inside the city limits of Murfreesboro. Burning that requires a city permit, construction and bonfires, as well as open burning in Rutherford County is still in effect and will be assessed October 3rd. Approved burning in the state of Tennessee includes brush and trees from the site. The Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department reminds citizens to be cautious while burning any brush, keep fire containment tools on hand, and to stay with the fire until it is completely out.
After 33 years with the Murfreesboro Fire Department, Tim Swan is retiring. Assistant Chief Tim Swan has worked for the Murfreesboro Fire Department for 33 years and has loved every minute of it. Swan said that if you love your job, then you will never work a day in your life, and he has certainly proved that. During his time at Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue, he has served as a driver, captain, and battalion chief. A retirement ceremony was held for him last Friday with family, friends, and colleagues in attendance. Swan has recently accepted a new job with the Tennessee State Fire Commission and will start on October 9th.
And now Alexandra is back with tonight's forecast for us.
As warm as it was today, it should be a pleasant evening with some cooler temperatures. Murfreesboro, Shelbyville, Woodbury, and Manchester will all be sitting at 58 degrees tonight. Coming in at 1 degree lower, McMinnville will have a low of 57. Mount Juliet should be our warmest temperature this evening with a low of 59 degrees tonight, and Smithville will be our coolest with a low of 56. Sun sets at 6:28 p.m., so make sure to get out there and get that painted sky, and maybe take some pictures. The moon will be a waning gibbous tonight, and it should be a beautiful view with clear skies.
Thanks, Alex. When we get back from break, Alex will be back with our full 5-day forecast, and Miles Valerie will be in the MTN Sports Den with a recap from this past weekend of Blue Raider action.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Here is Alexandra for our 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Dylan. The beginning of the week is going to be a warmer one with temperatures in the mid to high 80s. But if you're anticipating sweater weather, hang tight. It'll be cooling off by the end of the week. Today, the high is sitting at 86 degrees, and tomorrow and Wednesday will be slightly warmer at 87. Thursday will drop to the low 80s at 81 degrees, and our week will end off with a chillier Friday of 75 degrees and 41% chance of rain. Enjoy this week's sunshine and higher temperatures, as it is sure to be one of our last warmer weeks with fall just around the corner as we dip into October. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Alex. When we come back, Miles Valerie will join us from the MTN Sports Den with the latest chapter in 100 Miles of Hate and volleyball returning home. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to MTN Sports Den. We have more awesome sports action to go over from this past week of MTSU athletics. So let's get right to it. First up, MTSU football went off course in the 100 Miles of Hate. Blue Raider football faced off against Western Kentucky in Bowling Green in their first weeknight game of the year. It was quickly apparent that the Blue Raiders would be in for a reckoning as Western put up over 250 yards of offense in the first half alone. When 30 minutes had elapsed, Middle found themselves in a hole of 20 points to the Hilltoppers. Western Kentucky coasted to a victory thanks to the lead despite outscoring the Raiders 8-7 in the second half. The final score of 31-10 for WKU was highlighted by 2 interceptions and a 31% third down conversion rate for Middle. Head coach Rick. Sorry about that, guys. Head coach Rick Stockstill said of the game, disappointing, frustrating, but there's a lot more of games left. The Raiders will next gear up for a wild Wednesday night against Jacksonville State later this week. Middle Tennessee volleyball journeyed at home for their first time this season and made an immediate statement. The first home series of the season for the Raiders was against Liberty Flames, and Middle quickly managed to splash a bucket of water on their opponents on Friday. On Friday night, the Blue Raiders got out of the gate with an electrifying start and never looked back with 3 straight set wins to claim the victory. Kayla Henley recorded 13 kills, and Taylor Esser got 30 assists to put Liberty on the back burn. Saturday was all about Adri Rhoda, as she had a career height of 21 kills and earned 1.5 blocks per set. Liberty could not keep up with the Raiders as they would fall 3-1 on Saturday afternoon. Giving the Raiders a weekend sweep, next up for Middle is a sneaky good FIU Panthers team on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Middle Tennessee Soccer defeated Chicago State on Friday night. The Blue Raiders and the Cougars met for the first time ever on a soccer pitch, and it quickly became apparent that no one would be forgetting this night. MTSU blasted off to starting grid for an absurd first half of 7 total goals, including 2 apiece from Faith Ajide and Mannion. I'm sorry about that, guys. Mannion Labargi, and Middle would add one more goal before all was said and done for an 8-0 thrashing in their home stadium. The biggest story was Faith hat trick, which in the first for the Raiders since 2019, and this match the 8 goals scored for the most for the Blue Raiders since 2013 versus Alabama A&M. This momentum is just what the doctor ordered for the Raiders as they get ready for their next match against Sam Houston on Sunday. It will be the first time that these two teams have ever faced off in conference play. Men's tennis was bringing the heat in Tuscaloosa this past weekend. The Blue Raiders traveled to South for the Alabama 4th Invitational in the fall season play. In doubles action, one standout moment was Kareem Allen and Shu Matusuka picking up a signature victory over Tulane. For the singles bouts, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go. I can't do this, bro. I can't do it.
All right, guys, we'll get back to that in just a moment. Leo Rackwin may have been the biggest revelation as he managed to pick up a win over Drake's Marcus Bolin in straight sets and advance to the qualifying draw of the singles tournament. Softball scrimmages returned to Murfreesboro in the past week. Middle Tennessee hosted Vol State first on Thursday and picked up a dominant 7-1 win in the process. The second game was much tougher as the Raiders were in a dogfight that they eventually won over Lipscomb 5-4. With wins secured, the Raiders now look ahead to this Saturday as they will take on Snead State Community College. That's all we've got for now. We'll get back to sports in the future. Joining us for Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
I'm Elise Sandlin, joined by Dylan Simmons, Miles Valerie, and Alexander Aguilar. Make sure to follow us on all our social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle Tennessee News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they